Hey, your mom told me to pick you up today. Come with me.
Actually, no, Dad's picking me
No,
up.
come with me. Every parent's worst nightmare is not being able to protect their kids, but as they get older, they're going to be left alone. In this case here, all Jazzy's doing is trying to just buy some time so that hopefully somebody comes and helps her. So how does she do that? When I pulled her down to the ground, she's going to grab one leg with both her arms, the other leg with her leg. She's going to squeeze tight and she's screaming. Some people say scream for help, scream fire, scream rape. I don't care. Notice the common denominator there is scream, and scream as loud as you can, as she did. I was trying to pull her off. I'm 240 and fairly strong. I actually wasn't able to pull her off. Even when we were filming this, I legitimately fell over. So I'm trying to pull. She's buying time. Her dad happened to pull up and come to the rescue. Stay safe out there.
If you are the parent of a 16 to 18-year-old kid, there is something you need to understand about high schools. They are college pipelines. That is their primary function. It is to sell your kid a college degree. And according to the Education Data Initiative report that just came out, which combines BLS and NCES data, they said that it's going to cost $104,000 on average. And most graduates take 5.5 years to graduate. So before your child spends 6 figures and 5.5 years of their life getting this piece of paper from a college, there are 3 conversations that I am begging you to have with them, please, for you and for them. Number 1 on this list is, please, for the love of all that is good, look up if it is actually legally required for them to have a degree in order to get the job or career that they're looking for. Your child does not need a college degree to be an accountant. They do legally need a college degree in order to become a licensed CPA. It's in the law. Gotta have it. Your child does not need a college degree to be an airline pilot. Not legally required for licensure. Your child's interested in cybersecurity or software development. Your child does not need a college degree in order to get a license to do those things. They can just build a skill stack and then pursue those things. Your child wants to work in marketing? There are no legal licenses in marketing. Your child can just go get a job in marketing. 2, and I'm going to address this because I can already hear the why mine wants to be a teacher, mine wants to be a nurse, mine wants to be a social worker. So yeah, do they? Do they really? Because if they have not volunteered in that environment, or at least had some sort of entry-level position in that environment, school, hospital, clinic, nonprofit, whatever social work office they might want to work in, you are letting them walk headlong into something that they are just not prepared for. They are a child. They do not know. They think. They suppose. They hypothesize. Because high schools are a college pipeline and they have been telling them to pick. Because over the past 2 years working with Degree Free and helping people through this vehicle, I have seen and heard some stories that would break your heart. And a lot of times it's because they were people that got into these fields that had no idea what they were in for. And they paid to get into them, and then they were too deep, and it was really, really, really difficult and really, really, really painful for them to back out and change their life direction much later than they would have had to if they had just been able to dip their toes in the pool first and see if they actually want to work in those types of environments. And then the third conversation that you need to have with them is, does the work or job that they are trying to go spend time and money on a college degree to help them get, is it going to allow them to live the way they want to live? And by that I mean accomplishing their actual goals in life. You're their parents. You know, they want to foster dogs. They want to buy an apartment in a specific city. They want to travel to Timbuktu. They want to learn a language or a skill or a sport. Is whatever they're doing, is their debt going to be so high that they are now going to be unable to actually pursue those things? A lot of these teenagers have no idea what's out there. They face a slightly different problem than we did, which is not knowing any of the options. But now, not only do they not know really any of the options, but the options that are thrown at them are so numerous that they still don't know because they're overwhelmed. And you have to remember, if you only have a hammer, then everything's a nail. Teachers and guidance counselors have been taught to teach from a college menu. Those are the tools that they have been given. That is how they chose their own jobs. It is unlikely that they know that your child can be a court reporter or a paralegal and out-earn the median college graduate without having to get a college degree at all. It is unlikely that they know that your child can be a graphic designer without buying a college degree. Why? Because in their system, if they look it up, it is going to say that a graphic designer requires a bachelor's degree. It doesn't. It requires a portfolio of work. It requires certain proficiencies and skill sets that your child can learn on their own or in structured programs that are much faster and much cheaper than college. You have to talk them through these things. You have to make sure that they don't do this because they feel like they must and they feel like they don't know how else they would get to their goals. I'm using software as an example, but this could be for any field under the sun. Yes, medical. Yes, business. Yes, trades. All the things. If you do nothing else, please have these conversations with your children. They need to have them with someone, and they need to have them specifically with you. You can save them a world of hurt.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hi.
Nothing, man. Just, long day at school. Just wanted to get in here and get some of this, what's going on with my door? Okay. And so, what? Hey, Dad.
Yeah, what's up?
Why is, my room door locked?
Why is his room door locked, babe?
Oh, honey, so the last few times that you didn't do your chores, you said that you lost track of time doing other things. So we figured we'd help you out and keep you from the things that take up all your time so you can have more time to do the dishes.
Absolutely, because, you said yesterday that you had went in your room and started playing a video game and lost track of time and fell asleep. So we woke up this morning to a sink full of dishes, so we figured, we'd help you out in this process.
So, y'all really locked me out my room?
Yeah, we absolutely did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Okay, wait, I'll move on.
What'd you say?
Nothing. I didn't say nothing.
Oh, okay. I know you hear that.
It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No.
A lot of kids don't listen until you yell, but that's because of conditioning. Yelling signifies like, hey, I need you to focus on what I'm saying. And so a lot of parents can unintentionally teach their kids that what I'm saying doesn't need to be focused on unless I'm yelling. So I'm gonna tell you 3 things that I do when I've already asked once and I want my kids to focus on and take serious what I'm saying. Number 1, I'm going to move closer. When I move closer, you can hear me and you can hear me clearly without me having to raise my voice for you to focus. Number 2, I'm still gonna change my tone, but instead of going higher and louder, I'm gonna go lower and slower. When we shift our tone, it does trigger our kids to listen, but it doesn't have to be in that direction. And then number 3, I create a boundary. That could be with my words or my actions. Basically, I just put something in the way of whatever is causing a distraction and making it more difficult to focus on what I'm saying. All right, let's put it all together. Ken, it's time to go take a shower. Are you gonna turn the iPad off? Or am I gonna turn the iPad off? Some people think that being a gentle parent means just not being aggressive, but the opposite of aggressive is passive, and I'm not trying to be that either. Let me know if you want more videos like this with specific examples on how to put our foot down gently.
That was just our morning. Our whole day does not have to be bad because we didn't have a good morning, okay? We can turn our day around. You are so beautiful that it's ridiculous. You are such a beautiful girl.
I'm so beautiful.
You're beautiful too, yes. You are very beautiful. All right, let's take 3 deep breaths, okay?
Okay.
That was a lovely piece of father-child interaction because he's really saying it's okay to mess up. You can turn it around. And then he's giving a compliment and making her feel like she's lovely and doesn't matter how the day started. She's fundamentally just a great kid and he loves her. I like that.
How many sons have you got now?
I got two.
You got two sons.
That I know of.
That you know of. One of your sons comes to you and says, Dad, I would love to be a professional actor.
Yeah.
And then your other son came to you and said, I want to be a musician.
I don't want to crush anybody's dreams. Go for it. I'll be supportive. But this industry, let's just look at the economics. Musician and acting has a 99% unemployment rate. So you got to be in the 1%. And I want you to set up benchmarks for determining what it means to be in the top 1%. The most talented actors in the world are in a union called SAG-AFTRA. And by the way, it's not easy to get your union card. You got to be in a Broadway play. You got to be recognized. That's a big moment. It's like getting your PGA Golf Tour card, right? You get your SAG-AFTRA card. It means you're one of the 180,000 most talented creatives in the world. Last year, 83% of them didn't have health insurance because they didn't make more than $23,000. So you not only need to be in the top 17% just to have health insurance, you probably need to be in the top 10%, realistically the top 1%. I know a lot of working actors. If I said, this is the guy from this show, you'd be like, oh my God, that guy's amazing. He's not making a lot of money. I mean, everybody talks about Tom Cruise. The majority of working actors, you would say, oh, I know that woman, I know that man, they're great. They make an okay living. If they had achieved that level of excellence in almost any other industry, they'd own a house and a second house in Ibiza. So if you want to be an athlete, an actor, a model, an artist, open a restaurant, open a nightclub, have a jewelry line, be a fashion designer, I don't want to crush anyone's dreams, but let's have a sober conversation that if you aren't getting bright green lights that you're in the top 1% really quickly, and we put some guardrails on it, we're going to do this for 2 years, 3 years, can't pay your rent in 2 or 3 years, Dad's going to stop paying your rent at some point, or maybe I'll continue to pay your rent, but I need you to start workshopping another career. Because here's the thing, young people oftentimes mistake their hobbies for their passions. And what I would suggest is, and what I can guarantee you, is being successful at anything, passion comes from mastery. Mastery comes from being a ninja at something. I'm renovating a house, and there's this guy installing our soapstone, who's the soapstone guy. He's an Iraqi immigrant, dropped out of high school. He knows everything about soapstone. He can talk to you about the vein in the soapstone and which quarries. And I've been very open with him. I've talked about my book. He made 1.3 million pounds last year. He's the soapstone guy. I can't imagine when he was a kid, he and I bonded over football. I would bet, I don't know this, I would bet he dreamt of being a football star and playing for Iraq in the World Cup at some point. I doubt at the age of 17, he thought, I'm hoping in 15 years I'm installing soapstone and renovations for American douchebags in Marylebone. I can't imagine that was his dream, right? But here's the thing. He has an amazing life. He takes care of his kids. He takes care of his parents. He gets to take amazing vacations with his wife, which makes him passionate about soapstone. So yeah, go be a fashion designer. But let's be honest. If you're not making enough money to pay your rent within 2 years, and you're not making enough money to, say, form a family in 5 years, we're going to workshop something else.
All right, so I figured out why kids are disrespectful. Because we've been seeing this uptick in disrespectful kids, but I figured out why. It's because we taught them to be that way. And I know y'all like, wait, what? That don't make no sense. Hold on, just go with me. Hold on. We've been teaching people that respect is earned, but it's not. Respect is learned, and it's a default. Hold on. Respect is automatically a default because that's why we got manners. That's why we got politeness. That's why when people talk to each other, even if they're little kids, they know how to interact with other people without being rude, generally, most of the time. But respect is only earned after it's already been lost, which means defaultly you already had that respect to begin with. The problem is when somebody feels disrespected, that's when they become disrespectful as well, because we haven't taught kids how to be respectful in the midst of disrespect. So kids grow up thinking that it's okay to disrespect them. And why do they know that? Because we do that. When a kid is being disrespectful, even though disrespect is a form of communication, we always see it as something to take personally. And if we feel disrespected, then we get angry and then we get violent. How many times have y'all been busting the lips for saying something disrespectful? Mi gente, my black people, I'm talking to you specifically. Y'all be busting y'all kids in the lip when they say something that you don't like, even though if what they say isn't even really disrespectful. Because check this out, most of the time, disrespect isn't even purposeful. It's impulsive. Sometimes people just do it because they're having a bad day, they're frustrated, or they don't know how to communicate what they're really feeling. So what can we do? First things first, do not fight fire with fire. You fight chaos with order. So that means you need to focus on self-regulation. Recognize that this is all just a form of communication. Somebody is angry and pissed off. You getting pissed off is not going to help the situation. Find out what they're feeling and why they're feeling it. One thing I love doing is asking somebody to tell me what they say a different way. Redirect somebody into talking to you correctly, especially after they're de-escalating. Because the goal is to get understanding. Baby, I want to understand, but I need you to talk to me in a different way so I can understand you better. And the best one, but it's also the hardest one, model what respect looks like in the midst of disrespect. Model what that looks like. That's how you de-escalate. That's how you can get respect out of your kids.